Hi, so I'm going to share to you some of the things that my exes and ex-situationships did that altered my brain chemistry. So the first one we have is went to his ex's house to smoke at 10 p.m. while I was 7 months pregnant and told me he was there sitting on the porch to charge his phone and she doesn't live there anymore. After 6 months of talking, he called me telling me about how he met this girl at the gym and how much she likes her. So number 3, he told me he was done playing and wants me to be his girlfriend, then posted him at dinner with another girl that same night, captioned, "First date kinda nervous." I slashed his tires that same night as well.
Boy, that escalated quickly. I mean, that really got out of hand fast.
Woman, I don't see how you could possibly think this is a good idea. I mean, in that empty abyss where your brain is supposed to be, I get it. You're trying to blame the men for the reason why you're so messed up. But here's the problem. That PowerPoint presentation you've created, though efficient, proves a number of things. First, if every single slide corresponds with a different guy, that means you have a history of choosing toxic men. And second, by providing narration to your writing, you've also publicly admitted to slashing a man's tires as if that's some kind of point of pride. Being stupid enough to be obviously led by a toxic man isn't a crime. But you know what is? Destruction of property, which is what you just openly admitted to the entire planet. This can be used against you in court if charges are ever pressed. But considering the corruption of the American court system, you'd probably just be given a slap on the wrist with 3 hours of community service or something. And even then, you'd probably still complain that the punishment was too harsh.
Number 4, he got Tinder while we were dating and got chlamydia from a girl that went to ASU and gave it to me. Number 5, he thought I was dancing with another guy at a party because I was standing next to him and he had another girl throw it back on him right in front of me. Number 6, he threatened to overdose on drugs if I left him. Number 7, he gaslit me and told me that he spent the night at his friend's dorm to later find out he was at a 2-man. Him and this girl are still together, I think. He had 2 of his friends on a 1-hour call with me, convincing me he was at a guy's dorm. One of the friends was the other guy from the 2-man. Number 8, he made a TikTok about me and all the girls he was playing and I was on one of the slides.
On any other day, that might seem strange.
Yeah, that sounds pretty horrible. Now, I'm not celebrating the fact that this woman has gone through a number of terrible things. At one point or another, men and women have been burned by significant others. It's been known to happen. But we're not talking about one horrible relationship here. We're talking about a substantial number of men. You've been impregnated, infected with the disease, and constantly emotionally manipulated by different people. At some point, you need to take a step back and reevaluate why you find yourself constantly attracted to these men and possibly getting the help you need to break the vicious cycle so you can move on with your life. But what you shouldn't do is list off everything on TikTok for the entire planet to witness. That's never a smart idea, and it's not going to end as well as you think.
Number 9, he was and threatened to shoot himself in front of me and passed out from an anxiety attack. He got sent to rehab the next day. Number 10, after being in a serious relationship and planning to move out together, he broke up with me on our anniversary and told me he wanted to fuck around and party and not be tied down, to later find out it was because he didn't want to spend money on me for Christmas. Mind you, I paid for out-of-state tickets to an NFL game to see his favorite team in Vegas and fully paid for an in-state vacation for his 20th birthday. Let me know if you want a part 2.
Well, something about that is just downright unsettling.
Jesus H. Tap Dancing Christ, there's a part 2? How many men have you slept with? How old are you? You look like you're in your early 30s, I'm assuming. So how could you have possibly gone through enough terrible people to make a second list? You don't need a professional. Here's your problem. You're getting involved with criminals and drug addicts. You can't expect to be treated decently when you're attracting yourself to the scum of the earth. And if these are just cherry picking the worst things and you have enough for 2 lists, then maybe the problem is you have too many damn cherry trees. Lady, at this point, I don't see any hope for you because there is a valuable life lesson to be had that's completely lost on you. If you're going to constantly sleep around with guys that treat you like crap, then you're not allowed to be surprised when you constantly find yourself covered in shit.
This is just so shocking. I mean, I must just be so monumentally naive.
You are.
Guys, he's gonna see this. You cannot be up in my comments and in my DMs asking about, oh, what happened with him? What happened? What did he respond? No, nothing happened. Nothing happened. Okay? Like, I didn't go through with it. He didn't respond. I deleted it.
Okay.
What do you mean?
One fact that's constantly lost on me is how much investment lemmings have when it comes to the private lives of social media influencers. Why do people care so much on whether or not this chick and Chad get together? For starters, they're clearly not. She apparently sent him some kind of a message, he didn't respond, end of story. But for some reason, her gaggle of brain-dead fans are so invested on who she's banging that they're inundating her comments section as well as her inbox with demands for updates. Even if I knew this broad personally, I wouldn't care who she's sleeping around with simply because I have more important things to do. But apparently her fan base can't say the same thing. It must be a miserable existence to have so much time and energy on your hands to invest it into a woman who's airing out her dirty laundry on a situationship with Chad. I personally have a deeper investment in my grocery list, which reminds me, I need to buy eggs. Better write that one down because unlike her eggs, I can actually buy more.
That's funny because it's so true.
Okay, because he's giving me signs that he's giving me signs. He's giving mixed signals, yada, yada, yada. And me going, hey, listen, like, I'm feeling you right now, like, blah, 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 like situationship, blah, blah, blah. Like, no, that's not gonna work right now. It's not gonna work because he's probably talking to hell other bitches, right? And I know I may seem like I have bitches. I don't have bitches. My Snapchat is dry. I am snapping like 3 people. And 2 of them are girls.
No, he's not giving you mixed signals. He's leading you on. It's plain as day. You're clinging on to this hope that one day he'll make things official to you and commit, but he's never gonna do that. Why should he? You've given him unlimited access to your overrated mine shaft of lubricated sadness. That's his only use for you. He's not gonna magically wake up one day and think, oh, this dull lady I'm banging is actually pretty great. I'm going to fall in love with her, get married, and have her poop out my babies, especially if he's got a roster of women who's ready, willing, and able, and it's not helping your case that you're talking about him to a group of strangers he's never going to meet. A lot of men frown on that kind of disrespectful behavior because it's an invasion of their privacy, but at the same time, the bedroom fun you offer is still adequate enough that he's not annoyed with you just yet. But you're gonna complain anyway that there's nobody else out there, when in reality there are plenty of men, you just ignore them because they don't meet your, which I can only assume to be, impossible standards. You could have a date tomorrow, but you don't want an average guy. You want Chad. But trust me, sister, Chad does not want you.
Oh my god. I think I'm just down bad. I need to let go. I cannot drag this on further. I'm over it. Do I ghost? Do I just avoid him? Like, I can't really avoid him. Well, actually, I can't, so.
I don't care. Why is this an issue?
I'm just trying to facilitate.
I don't care, Al.
You're going second.
I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care.
You're going second.
Nobody cares what you do, woman. You're not that interesting. And even if we did care, it doesn't matter because you've already made up your own mind. You've decided that you're gonna incessantly whine and complain that Chad isn't talking to you, while also complaining that there are no men out there willing to give you a chance. You bitch and moan about how life is so unfair because you're in love with a man who doesn't love you back, while refusing to give a chance to perfectly suitable men out there who are more than willing to get to know you. You'll do this until you reach the age of 30 and then proceed to ask where the good men have gone while endlessly whining about how alone you feel. And your echo chamber will be there at the ready to give you words of support because that's the only real support you'll have as you reach middle age, and they'll nurture that hope deep inside the pit of your stomach that somewhere, somehow, there is a man that will love you. But deep down, you already know, that hope, it was snuffed out a long time ago.
I've been talking to this guy for like over... No, it might have been a year at the time. We have been talking for like a year, off and on. Anyways, we like caught up or whatever, and was like telling me like, did you see my story? Yeah, I saw your story. Like,
Blasphemer!
and then he was like, oh yeah, what did you think of it? Yeah, you looked good, whatever. Like, immediately this was like, what is he on about? Because he never asked me these things. And then he said to me, he was like, did you like this song? I didn't really pay much attention to the song. He was like, oh, well, you should listen to it. And I downloaded it to my playlist, but I never listened to it ever.
So you were in a situationship with a dude. Got it. He decided to communicate his thoughts to you via a song on an Instagram post instead of telling you directly. Mainly because the guy probably couldn't be bothered to tell you to your face that he was no longer interested. Besides, he shouldn't have to. You're a woman. You're supposed to be the supposed master of hints and subtlety. Well, at least that's what you think, because that's typically your primary form of communication. He sent you a story with a clear message being transmitted to you through the power of song, and you completely missed what he was trying to say. Not only did he tell you to listen to the track, you downloaded it and never even bothered. So I guess he still ended up putting in way too much effort into this, but I can't say I'm surprised. You eat drink mix and chase it with water. There really isn't much hope for you.
Fast forward like 6 months at least. At this point, we had stopped talking fully. He fully like unfollowed, removed me. Actually, I was blocked because turns out he had a girlfriend the whole time. That always happens to me. Anyway, I'm driving home from the gym and the song came on. And so the song comes on, shuffle. I'm like, oh yeah, let's see something. Is the song even good? Let me play the song.
If there's one thing we all know, it's that the YouTube gods will look for any reason to rain down the hellfire known as a copyright strike. So I don't think it's kosher to actually play the song for you, but trust me, you're not missing much. So I did the next best thing and went ahead and translated it. The lyrics go something like this. Tally ho there, darling. Given to our previous correspondence, it is rather bothersome for me to have to reiterate that I am, in fact, engaged in a relationship with a better, more attractive woman. However, at the time that we were engaging of the bumping of the proverbial uglies, as it were, her and I found ourselves in a bit of a spat to the point where communication was all but severed. However, as a man who has a man's needs, that was not going to stop me from finding the tangiest of punani, as the kids say. And when I was unable to find said tangy punani, I settled for you, which I will say was mostly adequate for the most part. I am pleased to say, however, that cooler heads have prevailed and we have resolved our issues, and our bond is stronger than ever as we are engaged to be married. I would like to thank you for offering your body in my time of need, but needless to say, your services of providing me with low-effort coitus is no longer required. Any emotional attachment to myself or my worldly possessions are your problem with which to bear. So be a good chap and never speak to me again. Cheerio, darling.
Like, can you imagine how I was listening to that song, knowing that he was like, you should listen to it. And then now knowing 6 months later, after he told me to listen to it, that he had a girlfriend the whole time. I can't. And look, it's all peace and love now. It's been like a year, like it's in the past. I still laugh about it, obviously, because that is some audacity. Because the thing is, guys, is always like, oh, the grass might be green over here. Let me go have a look. Don't have a look. Don't have a look. Just water the grass on your side of the fence, bruv. Anyways, that's the story time done. I'm going to the gym now.
Sweetheart, I hate to break it to you, but that guy wasn't seeing if the grass was greener on the other side. Far from it. He was totally fine with the color of his grass. He was going on an adventure to have a little fun. And he wasn't seeing if you were dating material. He was seeing if you were bedroom material, and there is a difference. And from the looks of you, that bar was set fairly low. And you have no right to be upset at this, mainly because modern women flaunt this notion that it's perfectly acceptable to ignore average men to go after Chad. But that won't stop you from feeling betrayed when it happens to you as you get older. And all of this happened because you assume you'd always be able to find greener grass somewhere else. But you're getting older and that grass is drying up. And from what I've seen, men aren't interested in you or your grass, especially when all you're doing is pissing all over what's left of yours. And that's gonna do it for today's video, gentlemen and gents. As always, if you find that my particular brand of humor is bringing you to the brink of laughter, then why don't you scroll on down and click that like and subscribe button and ring the notification bell so we can give the good old-fashioned middle finger to the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much for checking out the new video, and until next time, peace out, homies.